Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Heartforge Siege. I'm your humble dungeon master, Emily. And no, your hair is still wet from your shower. I don't know what you're talking about. Um, Welcome back, everybody. We've got a buck wild sort of story unfolding that we are going to return into today. Before we get started, I'd love to go around, have the cast reintroduce themselves in case you've forgotten who they are, starting with Chloe, who is back this week.
Yes, hello. I'm so happy to be back. I'm Chloe or Chloe. I use she, they pronouns, and I am playing Moxie, who is an Earth Genasi monk. And currently it doesn't know that the stuff's gone down. They're just chilling. Yeah. Probably not chilling, but doing something.
Definitely not chilling.
No, not in this siege. Yep.
Hey gang, I am Mike. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Carlin, your sad emo boy barbarian who uses he, him pronouns, or a series of grunts and whistles, probably. I don't know. He doesn't say a lot.
So, hey, I'm Ray, and I'm playing Ilrock Kapatis, Dragonborn Ranger, with pronouns she, her. And my pronouns are they, them. So, that's who I am.
Hi, I'm Leah. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Amira, who is a cleric who also uses she, her pronouns. And also, this half of my face has allergies really bad, so I'm not that good of an actress if I'm crying.
Hello, I'm Miranda. I use she, her pronouns. And I am playing Arthur Scrumple, who uses he, him pronouns, who is a total sorcerer and academic.
I want to combine turtle and sorcerer into one word, like torcerer, sortle,
Sorcerer.
sorcel.
Sortle is better.
I
I
don't
like
know,
sortle.
sortle.
Total.
Awesome. Um, Sorry. Hi, I'm your dungeon master with ADHD, and last time on D&D, uh, yeah, the city of Irvine is under siege. Uh, a sort of gigantic force came out from the underground to swarm the dwarven capital city in the midst of a friendly, happy tournament to decide who gets to be emperor for the day. Things have been chaotic. There have been a lot of simulacrum clones of the same one wizard guy, and also a simulacrum chrome clone.
A chrome clone.
It's a good thing I don't have to talk a lot today. A simulacrum clone of uh Tabaxi, spellcaster of some sort who has tried to assault the city before, is trying apparently to assault the city again. Yeah, just recently, disguised themselves as one of Amira's closest friends and allies, who it turns out may no longer be among the living. And yeah, tried to take the crown, successfully took the crown off of the emperor's head, and in a moment of inspiration, of panic, of creative spellcasting, Amira thought to protect the spirit of Moradin within the crown by banishing the that said spirit, and in a really successful role, there may be some consequences to that action. As we return back in that moment with everyone staring at Amira, Jupiter has just asked Amira what the heck she has done. We're actually going to pan the camera away because one of our party members has been very, very busy during all of this
Just chilling.
action.
Just chilling.
Just chilling, yeah. Moxie, it has been chaos and pandemonium inside the palace. The last we got to check in with you as a player at the end of the first session, you were trying to help people out of the stadium using your speed, your athleticism to carry babies and escort old ladies across
Yeah.
the street and anything you could possibly do, running back and forth, just sort of being where you needed to be. And that continued to be extremely necessary. There was a lot of confusion, a lot of just screaming and people tripping. And there's a lot of people who could use your help, honestly, more than you, even at your speed, were able to help directly. But very much your help was appreciated and needed. Um, just logistically, obviously the reason that you weren't in the last session is because you, Chloe, weren't able to make the last session. But the reason that Moxie wasn't able to be more involved is you have not had a moment to do anything
Mm,
other than help people move where they need to be, because there is so much that needs to happen. Even once things are have people, the vast majority of people have um sort of retreated within the walls of the palace itself. There is still lots of help needed, and frankly, once you've gotten inside and once the people who work here have seen your efforts running around, like, it probably started with like one person saying, "Hey, can you bring this to
yeah.
that guy over here?" Very quickly, like, people have just started basically acting like you are one of the people here to help. You are one of the like, and feel free to like, I want to check in with you. Like, this is sort of like what has is being asked of you in this moment,
Yeah.
and I want to, just as part of that, give you a either perception or insight check to see like sort of what you've been able to gather of the situation through this chaos. But if there's anything else you wanted to focus
Yeah.
on, if you want to say, actually, screw all that, I want to do something else. Like, this is the time where I want to check in and see
Yeah.
what what Moxie's doing through the heart of this
Yeah.
chaos.
I think
22.
22 on the perception check, so that's going well. But the thing about
Yeah.
Moxie is Moxie is like the youngest of many, many siblings, and so chaos and pandemonium is just their natural state of being. So she's like straight in there at like basically speed running all these fetch quests as much as they can. They
Mhm.
want to help as many people as possible, and probably getting to the point where like it's been a while now and they've been running around transporting people and getting supplies and whatnot and everything. They've probably started getting a little bit tired and started getting a little bit mixed up and things and like have brought like they've been asked to find bandages and they've ended up bringing like health potions or something and then they're like no, that's not what we need, and they're like yeah, so they're starting to kind of they're pushing themselves a little bit, I think. So she's like no, I can't possibly be tired, there's more people that need my help, and is kind of
Mhm.
lagging behind a little bit and mixing things up, but very
Yeah.
perceptive apparently.
Yeah, I think with that 22 in mind, I think a lot of people would have like your ability to like see through the chaos and like maneuver through the crowd. I think a lot of people wouldn't have been able to keep up with their own speed, simply due to the fact that they wouldn't have been able to navigate the situation as quickly as their body is capable of. But
Mm,
you have been able to keep up with yourself, almost to, at this point, it's catching up with you.
yeah.
But you've had, you know, that sort of almost like manager of a busy line kitchen, like eye in the sky ability to like, in those moments where you're like, okay, I've dropped something off, I'm able to find in and amongst all of this where people are screaming, there's babies crying, there's people being funneled into various rooms, being like processed away from this grand hall, trying to make room for more people to come in so that people can get further inside. You're able to see very quickly where the next big need is and go find it. And only now, as you're starting to like need to catch your breath, is are you starting to slow down. I'll say, even with how busy you've been able to keep up with enough reports like coming in as people have coming in, that you're aware that there's a big that the wizards are coming, and then
Mm.
they're flying away, they're squabbling amongst themselves. Like, honestly, pretty much anything that happened in the last session, you've heard in
Mm.
bits and pieces as people have come in, as soldiers have come back from the front line and come sent out reinforcements. You're pretty aware, despite not getting to see yourself, pretty aware of the situation. And you also are pretty aware of the like I said earlier, the focus of the Order of the Forge members who are inside, and obviously there is some effort of just keeping the front line supplied, keeping things moving, keeping soldiers in defensive positions, but a lot of the focus inside is on trying to process the sheer amount of people who are in here who weren't able
Mm.
to properly be secure, like checked, like through a security process that would normally happen as people are entering in. They're sort of playing a lot of catch up, trying to be like,
Mm.
okay, let's try to find out who these people are. Let's try to get people in safely. Let's try to make sure that the sheer volume of people that are in here don't cause any problems in this very expensive place that they're now inside of. Um, and that's sort of what's going on at the moment.
Mm. Mm.
Um, in this moment, as you're standing there, catching your breath, as you feel the sort of rumblings that have occasionally happened just throughout the entire structure, and you, being made of rock, really feel
Mm.
every shake, every tremble of the thing. You almost can feel, like, down to, oh, that shake, that one originated from like way deep in the
Mm.
bottom of the rock, one of the structures that's holding it above the magma. Oh, that one was from pretty close, actually. I feel that from resonating out in front of me. Like, it's almost like your body is an extension of the rock, to an extent that dwarves are pretty, like, stone cunning, but
Mm.
it's they're not made of the earth in the same way that you are. So you
Yeah.
really, like, in this moment of stillness, like, it's like you haven't been able to tune in with that just because of how
Mm.
fast you've been
Mm.
moving. And it's just like you're just taking a moment to just be like, wow. Like, it's like, wow, I know things have been chaotic, but, like, wow, a lot is this is a lot. And
Yeah.
whatever you sorry, what do you think Moxie would be feeling in that moment as you're taking all this in, as you're
I
trying to
think it's
process, try to catch up with yourself?
yeah, I think it's pretty much exactly as you say. Like it's a lot, and Moxie hasn't uh considered that, but at any point, because they've just been going faster, 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 like picking people up and everything, and they just take even just like the tiniest moment of like 10 seconds just to like put their hands on their knees, and they're like, okay, one moment, and and just breathing in for a moment, that they suddenly realize that she's not in the small town anymore. The biggest thing that's happening is not like uh somebody a horse caused a stampede in the market, like that. This is the equivalent that she's used to, but this is now on such a much larger scale with so many more people and things that ultimately she can help with, and they can ferry people around, but they're not used to being in a situation where they genuinely don't like can't really do much to help with the cause of like what is happening. And I think that it to this point they were kind of feeling quite useful, and they still feel useful, but she started to feel kind of smaller and smaller and get this like overwhelming sense of how big the world really is, rather than just in one town. Uh, and it's kind of like, well, oh, it's gonna be a story to tell them back home. Whew, if we get
Mhm.
home, all right. Well, and we'll kind of try and brush their knees down and be like, right, well, we've got to keep going, and everything will be fine. We just don't stop. We don't stop. We keep going, and they'll rush off, who knows where, probably without even
Mhm.
knowing where they're going, and then end up getting lost down a corridor somewhere, to try and find it. Be like, anyone need help? We're all in the palace. Anyone else? Everybody out!
Um,
And calling around, just see who needs their help, and trying to push that like feeling of everything being so big away by being like, I can do this thing now.
Amazing. It probably doesn't help your ability to navigate and your ability to find something to do as you're sort of trying to reinvigorate yourself, get that second wind as you're pushing out there. Um, there's sort of a ripple almost that passes through the palace, like almost something in the air as even with a 22 perception, it's hard to quite put a feeling of it. It's not quite like a wind passes through you. It's almost like a wave of wind, but like emotional energy just sort
Mm,
of like ripples through from the palace direction of the palace gates through the entire building. And as this ripple passes through, like you almost feel like, oh, maybe I'm just caught up in the emotions of the situation. Maybe I'm just having a moment while I'm having a moment,
mm, mm.
but accompanying
Moments
this
upon
ripple,
moments.
like the the lights within this building, this resonant crystal, this like glowing, I want to say bioluminescent, but like
Mm.
that but
We know
for
what you mean.
us. I don't know what the
Yeah.
word would be. Um, there is a dimming that occurs as this just passes through. Some of these lights like flutter and just dim a little. Some of them crack and turn off completely. There is just a wave of energy. A few of the members of the military are like, what's going on? A few of the members of the military like heads and like start to like have experience some sort of like they look like they're having headaches. Um,
Mm.
it becomes a lot harder to see in here as the lights do dim fairly significantly. Um, but yeah, not quite sure what just happened, but
Yeah.
something is wrong.
Can
Something
I
weird is going on.
find like the nearest person that seems to have any kind of authority at all, um, and be like, "Hey, well, what's going on? What what was that? Why are the lights dimmed?"
You approach the nearest, as you've been running around, you've learned a very simple system of determining who is in charge in that anyone who's wearing the fancy armor is in the order of the forge, and the fancier and more embellished their armor is, the more likely they are to be telling someone else what to do. So you go to the person with the fanciest helmet, the
Oh
biggest
yeah.
shoulder pads nearby that you can find, and you go and you ask, and they are leaned up against the wall, clutching their holy symbol,
You're right.
shaking their head. I, I don't. Ah, what? I don't feel. I.
Don't feel what?
Oh,
Is
sorry. They look
can I
in. They're
help
taking in
you?
the situation. Uh, what just happened? To the to the to the doors. Is sort of like trying to get people to move out. In where everyone felt the direction of this ripple.
Mm.
Is sort of trying to start directing people towards the palace gates, and they look at you. It's just, um, I don't know. See if you can find out what happened. I think it came from outside.
Oh,
Ah, I need
okay.
it. And they fully sit down.
Right. I hey, I'll get you some water, and then they like rush over to the side and then like, rush back, with like a glass of water in the hand. So it can be like, "Oh, that might make you feel better. I'll be outside. I'll go outside. I'll come back real quick if I can find out something. Yeah?
Sure, sure.
Right. Why do I feel like I'm the one giving orders here? Never mind. And they run off out into the towards where the gate was to try and see if they can see anything outside.
Sure. Moxie, you rush out towards the palace gates, and run into someone you recognize. Ilrock, you are entering the palace in this moment. You are, as you last said towards the end of last session, following some sort of gut instinct, some sort of just feeling that in and amongst this whole situation, something is not right. Something is wrong. Something from the palace. And I want you, as you are following this gut feeling, as you are entering into the palace, I would love for you to give me an insight check. And I'm going to
Yep.
give you advantage because I didn't tell Ray to do this thing. I didn't, honestly, I don't feel like I gave him that much of an indication that something was going wrong in the palace. Maybe I did. Maybe there was subtext that I'm just so good at weaving in that.
So that's roll 1, and then that's roll 2. So I think we're going to go for 22, please.
Awesome.
Is it coming
But
up?
yeah, it hasn't yet.
Okay. Collection.
Gotta love technology.
Yeah.
Amir, why did
Yeah.
you banish the roll 20, the D&D Beyond 20
Yeah.
link? Why would you
Listen,
do
Did you
that?
Okay.
turn off
I
the dice
didn't I
gods?
didn't banish anything that we can't immediately get back, right?
Right.
Let me just have a
Right?
look.
The DC was 17. I don't know what to tell you.
Extensions. Okay. Oh, that might be part of it. For some reason, the extension for D&D Beyond isn't working
It'll be that then.
in my browser. So that might actually be the thing that's like stopping everything working properly. So I have now added it. Let's have a look. Yep. Okay. Now that's on. Let's try this again. Can you see anything in the Roll20 chat? No, it's still not doing the thing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's okay. Technology is the way that it is sometimes. We'll just go ahead and take the rolls that you did at first. I believe you that they were an 11 and a 22. I feel like I don't know. There's no reason to lie about that. I don't know. It's fine. Technology is just silly sometimes.
Yeah.
It is what it's all good. I don't want to like stall out the show,
No,
but
and
just
spend
it's totally
ages
fine.
trying to spend ages trying to fix something that might just be balked.
All good.
All right.
So with an insight of 22, and yeah, just to like again be transparent, like lower the DM screen. Like sometimes your players just kind of like nail it with their gut feelings, and you gotta give them advantage about it, because like I don't know how you knew that, right? But like there is something wrong, and it is in the palace.
Oh,
And
wow.
with a 22 insight, you're walking in, you're sort of like in sharp contrast to Moxie's approach to handling this chaos by stepping into the speed and just sort of being one of the fast moving particles in this river, just sort of like becoming part of the flow and becoming like staying ahead of the speed. You are this slow moving, methodical, just like rock, like almost people are almost like just having to step around you as you're just sort of like almost it almost like appears like you're dissociating, but you are just like very calmly, very just set on locating where that sense of unease is coming from, trying
Mm.
to determine why you are having this feeling, and just not like you're this like I called it a riverbed earlier, a river, like you are just this rock that is sticking out, an ill rock almost, sticking out from this stream as the waters flow around you, and you are just observing the flow, and there are some things that stand out to you.
Mm.
I told Chloe earlier that a lot of the focus of the the workers here deeper within the palace is on um sort of, what's the word? Like intaking the people and processing the people and trying to figure out like, okay, how do we get people where, how do we like, what do we do? You notice that there are a handful of individuals who seem to be, as opposed to the natural flow of people who are just accumulating with their families, trying to maybe find somewhere to settle, maybe trying to get further in the palace, to try to get somewhere even safer. There's a lot of sort of natural seeming behavior by a lot of these people, behaving in a way that you would expect when they're in a situation and trying to seek safety, trying to seek comfort, trying to take a moment to rest and recover and find themselves. There are a handful of individuals scattered throughout, um, and they look like normal people. There's nothing like that stands out about their physical appearance. They look just like normal, common people who were there to watch the fight, dressed in a variety of styles, a variety of species, like nothing like that links them all together. Other than that, their behavior is that they seem to be trying to distance themselves as much as possible from the any members of the order possible. They're
Mm.
just staying on the outskirts, maybe taking moments where they are like hanging out on a pillar and like maybe looking, maybe if you catch them just in that moment, okay, yeah, that guy's resting against the column. But you see that they're not resting. They take a moment, look around, and then all of these people are, as they're taking these moments, as they're, whatever, trying to act casual, they're slowly and methodically working their way further inside the palace while attempting not to draw attention to themselves. But with your
Mm.
gut feeling, with that insight roll, they're standing out to you like a sore thumb. And it looks like, with all the chaos going on, this is such a subtle, small thing that
Mm.
nobody has clocked this. Like, there's no reason to pay in everything going on. Paying attention to some people who are being quiet and out of the way is not anyone's
It,
focus except for
no,
yours.
except for mine. Oh wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Um, um, I'm guessing my gut instinct with Elrock is that she kind of this being that really takes her time to kind of like study things and observe things and try not to draw attention to herself. And seeing as she, like she has some camouflage skills and stuff, she will be trying to see, well, where are these strange people? This strange behavior, is it leading somewhere? Because they kind of look normal, but they're not really behaving like everybody else. So that's already suspicious. But then if I'm watching them and they notice that I'm watching them, then maybe I'll get into trouble. I don't know. So that's yeah, I think she's going to stand a while and kind of see how these kind of strangers and strange outliers are behaving, moving, see where their focus is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Go ahead and give me, I want to say a perception check to try to take all of their movements in and try to plot out where they might be going, what their intentions might be. I think perception or insight again. It's up to you which one it is you would
Oh,
prefer.
that was not a great roll for perception. That was a 9.
A 9. Um, so with a 9, you're standing there, you're very focused on this analysis.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to determine they are moving deeper within the palace. So you're starting to wonder, okay, are they trying to get like deeper beyond this grand hall? Are they trying to get somewhere specific? Um,
Mm.
you're just starting to make that determination. When almost like uh out of nowhere, this whizzing, speeding uh rock comes flying through the crowd and bumps right into you, Moxie and Ilrock. You are reunited in outstanding fashion.
You just see like a fuzzy shape with like a mass of red hair like ram into you, and then like look up and the hair like flicks up and they blink out of their eyes and she's like, "Oh, it's you, Ilrock. That was your name. Hi,
That's right. Hey, Moxie.
are you okay?"
I believe so. I believe so. Um, is there somewhere we can talk without like lots of people listening to us?
Yeah, I suppose that most everyone's in that big room over there, so pretty much everywhere else can kind of empty.
Come with me for a
All right. I'm
bit.
supposed to be finding out what's going on. Do you know what's going on? Was it you? I'm on to you if it is.
Me? No, 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 never, never.
Okay,
No.
that's fine. Okay, phew.
You're the one
Because
who
if
lifted the crown from her
oh
head, from Jupiter's
well,
head. I mean,
I was a bit scared there because I thought if it was you, I absolutely could not take that. So
no, you're fine. It's okay. I've got like a gut instinct, and it would be good to kind of talk somewhere where other people aren't listening.
right, okay. What kind of got instinct?
Sorry, I had to laugh about the comment in the chat. Sorry, just give me a moment. What did you say? Sorry.
I said, what kind of got instinct do you have?
A gut instincts.
No, like what about what?
I'm gonna say you guys are, as this conversation's happened, like moving off towards the side in a little alcove, sort of like just in between the like main gates and the actual like opening into the grand hall. There's just sort of a little alcove behind a column where there's not a lot of activity at this moment where you guys can have this quiet
A
conversation.
moment, yeah. Okay. I explain that. Well, I was out there, right? I was out there
Mhm.
fighting some random ice, snow, beasts, monster things. And then
Does this have something to do with the wizards that apparently are here?
I'm not sure. Um,
Oh,
I don't really know what's going on. All I know is that there are these kind of ice monstery things, and they all look the same. And I was blasting them with my dragon breath, and I was like shooting people out of the sky with my arrows.
Oh,
Um,
that sounds like a lot of stuff going on out there. Okay,
and
yeah.
then suddenly it all kind of dropped away, and something in the back of my mind said, you have to go to the palace. There's something wrong at the palace. So I don't
Oh,
know how you would clarify that kind of gut feeling, but that was my
hmm.
gut feeling.
Well, things aren't right at the palace, I can tell you that.
Right.
There
Have
was
you
something
been
weird
standing?
though.
Yeah,
Well,
tell
there
me.
was like this wind, except it wasn't a wind, not like a real
Mm,
wind, like a emotion wind, I guess.
mm-hmm.
The light went through and all the lights went off, and then the guy in the fancy armor had a headache.
Right.
I asked what it meant, but they didn't know. So there was
No,
that. And also, I
no.
think some of these earthquakey kind of shaky things come from really far below, like the foundation kind of really like important stuff that probably shouldn't be shaking. I think might be shaking, and that's not
Mm,
probably not very good.
no, doesn't sound good. Yeah. Uh, have you like stood still at all since you got here?
Oh yeah, I did for like 10 seconds and it was really bad, so I kept moving.
Ah, okay. Well, um, when I got here, I did stand still, and it was kind of maybe counterintuitive to you, but then I noticed something, and I'm like, I don't know what else is going on. You just said these earthquakes and headaches, and there are some people in the crowd, and they're not behaving like refugees in a crowd.
Well,
That
what are they behaving like?
up to no good.
Oh, we don't like them.
No.
You can't be
Um,
up to no good. That's what my dad used to say. He said, "You's up to no good," when he'd find me behind the barn trying to set something on fire.
yeah. Well, that's what parents are for, right?
Well, exactly. But if they're up to no, I suppose you probably mean a bit more than like trying to set a bit thing on fire for fun. Maybe like set
I've
something
done
on
it
fire,
plenty of
but
times. No, no, not setting on something on fire for fun. No.
do you think they're gonna
Um,
set something on fire like for real for like proper reasons? Not proper reasons as in right reasons, like proper wrong reasons.
I don't know what they're up to, but their behavior is suspicious, and I don't know if you're able to like stand still and observe for a while, or if that's like
Mm,
counterintuitive to you, because otherwise it would be really easy for me to go those person, that one. Um, yeah, you're kind of
okay.
like this get to go to kind of person. I mean, I saw you in the fight. You just went straight for the crown. That's that's where you went.
Yep. Yep. That's me. I move really fast. Turns out if you slow down and you stop, then you have to feel all your feelings, and that's that
Ah, all right.
that.
It's scary. Okay.
So just
Well,
Emily's just losing it.
yeah, Emily is losing it. Yeah.
Just an amazing quote. Sorry, carry on.
We'll put it on a t-shirt after the Heartforge siege. Yeah. Um.
I can try.
Yeah.
Uh,
What would help you? Can I help you?
yeah, let's have a look together.
All right. So I think we will be doing this. I will
All
try
right,
and take this manic little manic little fighter out with me, manic little monk out with me, to see if she can like slow down just for
Hmm.
you know longer than 10 seconds and see what I'm seeing.
amazing. The two of you head back within the palace to try to get to the sense of just what degree of up to no good these folks are.
Mm,
And we move our attention back outside, back out into the palace, right, maybe a few moments back. shockingly, maybe around the same time that that ripple passed through the palace, might have coincided with some recent activity. Yeah, we're right back where we left off with you guys. Jupiter just asked you what you did, Amira. And Arthur, Carlin, you are standing there, and pretty much everyone, things have been loud, things have been chaotic out here as well. But with the forces in retreat and with what has just happened, it has never been quieter in the streets of Irvine. The city itself seems to await your response, Amira. What did you do?
I protected Morden. I was sending I I was protecting the crown.
I this is Jupiter. I can't. Leans in close, like for the first time, like you know you've known Emperor Jupiter for a long time,
Mhm.
and you know her as this very like stoic, reserved, like regal being. You've known her as the Emperor, and she's just like leaning in. She like leans into you, gets close, like whispers, and you're like, you just see a kind of a slightly scared woman talking to you, and she's just like, I can't, I can't feel more than can you bring him back? This
I'm
isn't
gonna
supposed
try
to
to
happen.
drop.
This has never happened.
I mean, it didn't work. I thought. I don't know. I'm gonna try to drop banishment.
Wonderful. Easy enough. It's a concentration spell. You stop concentrating on the spell fades, the spell ends. You look to the crown in your hand. There's a sort of like a flickering of a glow. There's an energy that you're used to seeing within the crown that it appears back within the crown and fades and appears and fades and just sort of like is in this like this state of like of a torch that is just on the brink of being out of fuel, that is just sorry, a torch in America, a torch is a stick that's on fire. That is that kind of torch.
Thanks for clarifying.
No, it's not a flashlight.
Guys, they've invented batteries. Everyone panic.
um,
Oh no, Morin empowered the
this is
batteries!
no, the battery only had three charges.
No bad.
Um, sorry, I just set up this moment and then immediately sabotaged myself. The presence, you feel it wanting to return. Um, give me an insight check, I'll say. You still have advantage on all of your wisdom checks because of Arthur's enhance ability.
Okay, so insight rather than religion.
This is an insight check.
Okay. Um, do, do,
Or an
do.
arcana check if you would prefer, but you would not have advantage on that.
I don't know. Pull from the class. I have a plus 12 to Arcana, but a advantage and a plus 8 to Wisdom. What do we think?
Probably take the +8 and advantage, but
Okay.
That's what I would have gone with.
I'm not a
Yeah.
statistician.
Me
Arthur is though.
On
either.
average, uh, if you do the math, on average, an advantage works out to be about a +5 bonus, depending on where in the bell curve you are. It's more mathy than that, but I would agree with the class.
Okay. All right.
Those are
24.
some good rolls. Um, with a 24, you you were just magically connected to this presence enough to banish it. You were just connected with this crown. This is an artifact you've interacted with externally. You've never worn it or anything or attuned to it, but you're familiar with the way that the presence of Moradin feels,
Mhm.
both from the crown, from the light within the center of the Heartforge, at the heart of the temple, with underground and underneath this palace in the center of this city. You know what that feeling of Moradin's physical presence feels like. And you feel it wanting to return. You feel it flickering in and out. You feel this loose tether still connecting Moradin to this crown, but you feel as if the vessel itself has been damaged in some way, some sort of whatever keeps that fragment of Moradin's being tied in to this crown is having trouble like locking in and containing and holding on to that presence. So it's not as if Moradin is gone. It's not as if Moradin has no connection to this plane. It's not as if he's dead or beyond you, but his ability to return and inhabit this crown the way that he was before, it's just not locking in. It's just not settling. He can't return at this moment, but he is constantly trying. He is constantly trying to return. His will is still directed on this crown. He just can't make that tether right now.
How close am I to the crown?
I want to say it's in your hands.
Okay, because what I was gonna say is I would want to like pick it up and like just bring it really close to my chest. Morden, where are you?
Interesting.
And I
Oh,
think,
this sucks to say. A lot of times when you're this close to the crown, when you're or in the presence of the Heartforge, sometimes, typically like weird any of us in this reality who are religious are not used to a voice responding to us when we pray. This is not how it works here in this realm on this earth.
for you,
Um,
maybe. No,
you
just kidding.
you you know what? Fair enough. You have in times before gotten literal responses from Moradin holding the crown in your hands. Surely you don't hear anything. Nothing changes. Nothing about that role, what the information I just gave you, nothing about that situation changes at all. Morden's presence, tenuous as it is, does not react even to your calling his name.
Um, I think that Amir is starting to shut down straight up because it's been like 30 seconds since she found out that her best friend is dead. And
Yeah.
so like I think she just sits there with the crown and like looks at Jupiter and like can't get any motivate like she can't articulate her motivations or like anything in the moment. The only thing that she can get out is she killed him. And is just like holding the crown like and she's talking about Hawk but also kind of maybe third person talking about herself. Like she is shutting down.
I feel like Arthur would see this happening from, I guess he's a little way away on the battlefield, um, and start to head over to Amira, and like see that she's clutching the crown. And I guess would Arthur have felt that wave of thing, God feeling thing? Okay, great. Scientific proof. There was something in the crown. Very interesting. Anyway, that's what's going through Arthur's head as he's like moving towards Amira. Um, Lazuli, hey, snap out of it. There's
Mhm.
still danger.
Right. Danger. Right.
We
S-
we need to get
Yes.
you inside.
Uh,
Jupiter
Ju
2.
Jupiter. Yes. Inside. Let's palace. And then uh I feel like I would have seen Carlin swooping in too. So like I'm kind of like looking for the big protector people right now because I feel weak. So I think I'm like looking to him. I know that like he was with Lightning and Surge as well. I don't know if they're close. Like I'm looking for you know, looking for big people, looking for people that have more like I'm a level 10 cleric. Like I'm not supposed to be able to banish a god, you know what I mean? Like so it just I am outsourcing my feelings.
Yeah, Carlin would have been moving in that direction anyway to retrieve the boomerang that they threw that
Right.
clanged off the ground anyway. So they would probably be kind of arriving at the same sort of time as Arthur did. Yeah.
Um and like, you know, seeing you approach, I'm just kind of like yeah, Arthur, we need to move. You can let's get in with you know, the Crown Top Crag is now we're
Yeah.
going with the crown in the
While
palace.
while Amira is like stuttering through this, like clearly in shock, Arthur is gonna turn to Carlin, who he's not interacted with apart from seeing you in the fight. Are you big? I assuming you are, like Alpha
Oh yeah,
Barbarian.
like over 6 feet. Yeah.
Great. Arthur's gonna turn to you and be like, "Can you carry her?" Pointing at Amira.
Carlin will kind of look. I don't see why not.
Okay.
Where are we going?
Indoors, quickly. Amira, hold the crown tight.
And then
Okay.
like but also like she's just kind of reaching for Jupiter too, like let
Mhm.
come we need to go into the doors.
Arthur is
Yeah.
like trying to shepherd you.
Sorry.
I just need to. So I'm just gonna make just an intelligence roll. For reasons. Let's go. Ooh, that's a 5. Um,
Perfect.
Carlin has
Smart.
no idea of your status or whatever. So rather than picking you up and carrying you demurely, we'll pick you up and sort of fireman's carry you so you're over their shoulder.
Perfect. And she's
Arthur
just
sees this and
holding
is like, fine,
like
whatever.
just and Amira's just kind of sack of potatoes like okay like
Mhm. Amazing. Um, Arthur, as you are looking to Jupiter and looking to at around like looking to Jupiter for guidance, a lot of other people are also looking to Jupiter for guidance as well, trying like, that's the emperor. That's the leader of the situation. And all of the people who are looking to Jupiter see Jupiter with the same look of I need direction. I need to find like what do we do? Has the same look on her face, but is looking at Amira. Is like it was looking to Amira for like okay, and then is taking in how Amira is responding, is sort of having a moment of like, okay, all right, and just sort of like takes a breath and sort of like straightens herself and sort of just goes, all right, folks, we're heading inside. Uh, let's stay orderly. Let's get in. Let's regroup. um, let's go. And clearly faking it, just to you guys. I'm not gonna make y'all roll insight, but is clearly putting on the sense of like, well, I'm still in charge, I guess. And like Sergeant Surge, Lieutenant Lightning have approached as well. Captain Magma is trying really hard not to glare daggers at Amira right now. Um, Everyone's sort of like taking in like it's just sort of like, okay, I guess like there's a definite sense of uncertainty of like what is the hierarchy? Who is in charge right now? What is happening? But as a clump, you guys all start to make your way inside the soldiers are sort of like run off for the most part, or like some stay behind and like form a protective like escort with your group. Some run off to join in with trying to organize the chaos of inside. Um, but largely it is like the group of you folks on Carlin's back, with a few of those major NPCs, the people with names in y'all's little group,
If
moving your way back into the palace.
if there are any kind of stragglers who seem to kind of not have bought into the kind of Jupiter speech, so like Carlin will literally be like pulling them along with him and kind of going, listen to your chieftain.
Incredible. Right, yeah, totally, yep, sure thing. That that move was really cool with the flying that was really cool,
Ah,
man. And just like runs off. Incidentally, a lot of the people who are um a lot of the people who are members of this order, same as inside, there are people with headaches. There are people with like reacting physically to this wave of going on of whatever happened with this crown, but without the confusion that the people inside are going on because they're like, oh, I see what's going on. I want Arthur specifically, I want you to give me a history check, a religion check, or an arcana check. It's up to you what you want to do, but there is something that I think Arthur might be able to notice in this situation.
I'll go for history,
Okay.
and I'll be really bad at it. 11.
11. Okay. Um, with an 11, I'm gonna say, um, as you take note of this happening, it doesn't seem to be evenly distributed, this like physical reaction that people are having. Like, I want to say like slightly more than half of the people have been affected by it. Uh, Amira, you're probably feeling as well within yourself this like that like feeling of connection that always exists inside of your like the center of your chest is like tenuous at best right now. You feel like you're not certain what the implications of that as your ability as a cleric even means at the moment. Amira is one of the people who is being affected. A lot of people are being affected, but like Sergeant Surge looks fine. Looks a little bit like concerned looking at like Lieutenant Lightning is sort of like out
Does
almost
it
like clutching his head, limping along. Um
is it
but there's
clerics?
like
Like, is it
slightly
members of the
under
order?
half. It is it seems to be affecting um like I said, slightly more than half of the clerics. And again, slightly more than half, maybe slightly less than half of the paladins of the Order of the Forge. It any civilians that are still straggling, or any like non-religious order members, definitely not being affected in this way. It's something to do with this connection, but with an 11, I'm not gonna immediately give you exactly what it is that's distinguishing
Hmm.
these people, but you do know, like you definitely are noticing like something in your mind is just saying that is unusual, that it's not, you would
Mm.
expect it to be everyone.
I feel like Arthur's first theory would be that it was people who were like drawing on the bond at the time that it severed, like people who were actively spellcasting, maybe. But mysterious.
Uh, Um, and with that, as your group starts to move in with many questions on their minds, I want to check back in with Moxie and Ilrock as you guys are starting to try to figure out what's going on. I want to leave it to you. What method of trying to figure out what's going on? What's the plan here? What does
Hmm.
this look like as you guys try to get to the bottom of this situation?
I think I am kind of looking at Elrock like, so I just like take a few breaths and watch, right? Okay.
Yes,
And they do like
you can
really
do this.
exaggerated breaths and go, okay, okay, okay,
You
okay,
can
I'm
do
ready.
it.
And then they're gonna like stand there and look at the crowd and watch, and probably be able to do that for like a few minutes, and then will attention will start to wander a little bit, and they'll be like constantly like side-eyeing you to see what you're doing and just like trying to copy whatever Ilrock is doing.
Yeah. Um, I will try and see if I can like subtly move Moxie's attention to the people that I've noticed in the crowd who are behaving differently, who seem to not be running from the siege and seem to be doing something else instead. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I will try at least. That will be her first method, and she might also like just subtly grab Moxie's head and kind of slightly turn it like this way, this way, this way,
Oh, over there, right? Oh, okay.
and see if she picks
Wonderful.
up. And otherwise, kind of go, I, yeah, and as Ilric's not really sure what these people are up to yet either, but she knows something is off. And if she's got like other people around her who can see the same thing, maybe they can like help her figure it out what's going on. So that's her hope. Not sure it's going to work, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
I love it. I want each of you to give me a roll. Moxie, I want you to roll an insight check to
Mhm.
try to see what you can pick up from the surroundings, especially with Ilrock's help. I'll give you advantage because Ilrock is
Ooh,
helping you. Glad I
thank you,
said
because the
that.
first one was an 8.
Um, I said it before I knew it was gonna be an 8. Oh, a
A
9!
9!
Beautiful. Um, Elrock, I'm gonna give you the choice of how you want to approach this, but I want you to roll to be subtle, as you said, about this situation. As you're pointing out, I'm gonna give it either stealth or deception or performance. Any kind of
Okay.
roll you want to make to try to not be obvious about what you're doing.
Well, stealth would be the best stat. So I will go for
Okay.
that. Did it send?
It did
Oh
send
wow!
in
It's
the
finally
chat.
working. It is finally working.
Amazing.
Okay. It's not the best roll. Meh. But
We're
at
spending
least it
too
did a
much
thing.
time, like me looking at you and seeing what you're doing, and you looking at me to make sure I'm doing the right thing, and we're not actually noticing the thing we're trying to notice.
Mhm.
Could well be, yeah. You know, like if your basic skills is kind of quite different to one another, then it could be hard to
Mhm.
kind of get on the same page, you know?
Mhm. And it's
Yeah.
also very hard with a space this big, with this many
Hmm.
people, to get another person to see a specific person that you are talking about. So like there's definitely some Moxie going, "Who? Oh, there, over there? like out loud, like fully, like transparently. There's a lot of like
Oh shit.
Ilrock getting frustrated and like physically just being like trying to be subtle and then physically just being like right there, see, like over your shoulder, like doing the thing you like try to line up your hand with someone else's eyes, like or over their shoulder.
Yeah.
Don't look now, but
Yeah. Um, I will say, Moxie, honestly, you're not 100% sure what Ilrock is talking about. You
yeah.
see a lot of people doing a lot of things, but nothing is standing out to you as like, oh yeah, that guy looks like they're trying to start fires or
I'm genuinely
sabotage
just looking for
something or
arsonists.
yeah, like fully, yeah, nobody's got any torches out, nobody's got any like tinder boxes ready, like there's like no one here looks like they're gonna do any sabotage or any problems. Like
That's not a dragon standing
you
behind you with
believe that
fire breath, no.
you are sure that Ilrock believes that this is happening, but you're not seeing any evidence of it. Ilrock, you're watching the people you clocked earlier. You're seeing them. You are still 100% sure that this is a thing that is happening.
Hmm.
Getting increasingly frustrated with the fact that Moxie is not clocking these people that you're talking to. You do see at one point as you are pointing directly at somebody, they look over their shoulder and make eye contact with you, looking at them, eyes widen, step around behind a pillar, and break line of sight with you.
Mm.
This is fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah. We're not screwed. It's
No.
all fine.
Totally fine. Um,
What do you mean by the pillar? There's no one
Amazing.
there.
The rest of you enter within the palace, see a lot of what I have described already. I'm going to lean on you guys to remember that so I don't have to say everything again. But the situation is as previously described in here, with maybe the caveat of the like new people, the people that have been outside with you joining in with people are starting to like catch people up on what's going on, are starting to like help people up who are experiencing the worst of the headaches, are starting to like come together, and like the vibe is has gone from confusion to concern, and is that vibe is starting to spread within the room. A lot of people are started like trying to put on like business as usual, and still like there's a lot of work to do, there's still a lot of moving parts, but um you can see morale is like an active effort to keep morale up is what the best way I can describe the mood of people, and people who are not the people who are just citizens, civilians who are just trying to survive, are getting increasingly like they're looking to these folks for help. They're looking to these folks for like there's a siege going on and they're feeling helpless, and like enough of a vibe check of what they don't know what's going on. They don't know why the vibe just shifted, but panic is starting to rise. People are starting to get like demand more of like more answers, more questions. Um, things are tense in here. Um, but as you guys approach, as you guys see, you are able to see Moxie and Ilrock sort of standing. I'm not sure how much it would stand out to you guys that this is going on, that these people, especially since some of you don't even know who Ilrock or Moxie are. But I would say to Moxie and Ilrock that as they come in, as you see the Emperor come in, as you see some of these high-ranking members of the Order, it occurs to you that perhaps letting someone know what's going on might be a good idea.
Ilrock, I'm not having any luck with this. I think we should maybe go and tell someone.
Yeah, no, I get you, and I don't think we're going to be able to sort this with just the two of us, to be honest. Um, that's Jupiter, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Well,
That would be the best place, I suppose.
I think we should do that.
All
Let's
right,
try.
let's go.
Yeah.
You approach.
Wave them all down.
Um.
Hey, Jupiter, my buddy.
Remember me? I tried to
Hi.
steal a crown.
Hi.
But in like a nice
Yes.
way.
Hello,
Hello,
your uh
citizen. Everything is
imperialness.
fine.
Uh, Ilrock has something to say.
Okay.
I
Is sort
didn't
of
really
looking amongst
understand
group.
it.
Sure. There is a lot happening. How urgent? Uh, what's going
Well,
on?
they might set something on fire, so I think it's pretty urgent.
Great. Um, come with us. Just come on. Come this way. And just leads gestures for you guys to just join the flock of group that is as Amira suggested, as um the consensus seems to be, let's go inside, let's get to a safe point, let's put our heads together and figure out what is going on, what are we going to do about this situation. And the group of you guys head further within the palace to have this conversation. I think that this is a good point. It's a little early to take our break. It's a little more than halfway through, but I think this is a good point with which to do so. We are going to check back in after the break and talk some things out, make some plans, figure out just what the heck is going on here. See you guys in a little bit.
Yeah.
Hi.
All right. Hey, welcome back to the Heartforge Siege. We are right back a little ways after we left off. We're back deeper within the palace. We are in honestly what appears to be like a clerical office. We're not in like a throne room or like a sort of regal area. We've sort of like navigated in through a series of hallways into literally an office. There's been some activity of like people through the halls, like literally like having paperwork, like navigating, like there's started been a trickle of people into this series of hallways to like be led into similar rooms as the one you're in now. Like seems like people are like having some like processing interviews and like moving into a safer place in the palace. A lot of activity, but closed within this room, you have found some manner of um, not peace necessarily, but quiet insulation from the movement and the chaos and everything going on. It is the five of you, as well as Emperor Jupiter and the trio of clerics that are Sergeant Surge, Lieutenant Lightning, and Captain Magma, um, who are all mostly in a listening state, occasionally chiming in, but mostly letting the group of you guys share what has happened, catch everyone up on the situation. I don't necessarily want to have to role play all of that out since we have all been here, all know what's happening. I don't want to take up too much time in the narrative with that, but before, just hand waving and saying, you said everything. It's everyone knows everything. I want to ask if there's anything in particular that you wanted to emphasize in your catching people up of what has been going on, anything you would not want to say, or anything that is like particularly apparent in your energy, anything you feel like you would want to highlight about how that conversation went, since we are sort of skipping over it. I kind of want to just go down the line in the same order as our
Mm.
intros.
Yeah, I think Moxie is doing a lot of talking and not awful lot of saying anything, because Moxie doesn't actually really know what's going on. So it's constantly just like, well, Ilrock said this, and then we tried to look at the crowd, and then all of this sort of thing. I think they would mention, but not maybe not in like huge detail, but just mention how when the tremors came through, and they felt like some of it might have been coming from concerning areas of the of the whole city, that maybe is not a good thing. But yeah, other than that, just basically being like, I don't know, these guys, Ilrock said there was a thing, and then these guys said there was a thing.
Carlin wouldn't have said a lot, other than kind of questioning why he's even here. Just kind of got swept up in this thing. Um, would have mentioned a few times that he jumped out of an airship onto someone. Um, kind of it's the coolest thing he's done today.
Moxie
Um,
is like, wow, every time you say it.
and I think if there's one thing, like one conversation that Carlin would have specifically had, it would have been with Moxie, and it would have just been like chit chat. Um, but kind of the opposite of what Moxie was saying earlier. Carlin's just going to be like, funny how like big siege war going on makes everything seem so small. Just reminds you of like those communities when you were in your small towns. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah. That's not it's a thing that happens, right? It's not a terrifying like thought about like your own mortality and insignificance in the world and stuff like that, right? Yeah, it's totally normal. Yeah.
You kind of like backhand them on the shoulder and just go, exactly, you're only alive when you're facing death.
You're only alive when you're facing death. I'm gonna have to think about that one.
I mean,
Now they're
I
just
never
like
find
in the
that helps
corner.
anything.
No, they're just like in the corner being like, what? What?
Carlin, water off a duck's back. Moxie, new existential crisis.
Mostly just like ball of anxiety? What?
Beautiful. Ilrak.
Well, Ilrock is kind of like a more or less an open book, and she doesn't really have anything to hide. So she'll be telling what happened, the siege, the fighting the monsters, and just like this huge gut feeling that there's something going on, and she doesn't really know what it is yet, but she wants to find out and wants to help Jupiter because whatever has happened, it just feels wrong since she kind of turned back towards the palace. So that would be it.
Sure. And you guys would have mentioned the people of note that you had
Yeah,
observed earlier. Okay.
yeah. And when it's kind of hard to give like a description more than just their behavior because they
Mhm.
look like everybody else in the crowd. It's just their behavior is slightly off. So, like, no distinguishing marks, all kinds of races and creeds, nothing particularly that you could say, like, oh, that this is really binding them. It's not like these sketchy dudes in suits or or matching cloaks or whatever, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so I think on the way over being carried, um, she was like, continuing to whisper to the crown a bit and just like in that state of shock. But if there's one thing I think she resonates with in her like dwarven side, it's being grounded. So like through like I think being carried just gave her the opportunity to be in her body for a second. And so she's getting kind of that adrenaline rush of like tunnel vision. What do I do next? It's kind of like, when you have a panic attack, but you're not really in danger, it's very overwhelming. But when you have that same feeling and you are in danger and there's something to do, it's like a intense focus. And so that's where she is now. So I think that's really how she was like, of course when Carlin let her down, it was a thank you so much and just like, genuine appreciation. And then it's just like a locked in towards Jupiter. As she explained her perspective, she would have also explained that Hawk was gone, but do it in like a very I believe that he has not been with us in a few days. When things settle down, we'll need to search for remains. Like just you know, um, detached. And also, like towards, somewhere in there, would have made a point to reintroduce Arthur, in a larger capacity from the here dimension door with Arthur kind of place. Um and described Arthur as like an intellectual equal, like oh, we've known each other quite a long time through intellectual correspondence. This is a safe person, etc. But then also kneeled down with the crown in front of Jupiter and said, this is yours. We will do everything I will do everything I can to fix what's happening and also to continue to find the people involved in this plot and just stand up, back off. Yeah.
Sorry, I just Ray just types also Arthur is a Superboy, and I
Yes.
wasn't I wasn't I wasn't prepared for that. Um, Speaking of which, Superboy,
Superboy.
what anything you'd like to?
Um, so Arthur uh will actually have been trying to like big a mirror up in the explanation, like adding details to what she has said to be like, well, actually, she acted really quickly, or actually, it was really impressive what she did. Because like socially, this is the emperor. Presumably, this is important to Amira, and she is kind of in shock. Um, and like downplaying what he did, like it's fine. A couple of counter spells, not a big deal. Um, and meanwhile, he's like pulled out of his pack a flask of tea that he gives to Amira, and I was picturing, you know how if you go to the beach, you can find pebbles that have holes in them, and like bits of shell and driftwood and whatever, like a cord of those all string together on some rough twine that are like they're like worry beads or like a prayer bead or a rosary. And he's just handed those to Amira without any explanation, like probably while she was talking about something else, just to give her hands something to do.
And you see Amira like immediately responding to that. It's like the comfort of the tea, the
Yeah.
prayer beads. Like you can tell she's still panicking, but like being in her body and like feeling those sensations is really keeping her in a place where she's holding it together. And and you do not know Amira to as someone who allows herself to be cared about. So like seeing her into her like sink into her body, I think like even without an insight check, like that is abnormal for her. I mean, what is normal for her in this instance, but that I think that would stand out.
Yeah, honestly, Arthur is like definitely wants Jupiter to pick the crown up and put it on because we need a restoration of order here.
Mhm.
But broadly, it's just focusing on Amira and like trying to be close to her so that if something goes wrong, he can help, but also far enough the way that it doesn't look weird. So probably
Yeah.
like a 2 paces. fidgeting.
Amazing. Okay. Jupiter and the other Forge members in the room take in all this information. You know, occasionally adding something in, like something they saw from the airship or some, you know, just adding details, but mostly listening, mostly taking in the situation. Um, as we sort of reach the end of this debrief, um, there's just a moment of quiet as everyone is looking to Jupiter, and she's looking sort of arms crossed, looking down at the crown on the table, on the desk table area. And it's just taking it all in and looks up and, you know, I I'm not sure, honestly. It seems like there's a few major considerations. Um, you know, I think that maybe for a little while I should put that back on and act like everything's fine just to give people a sense of normalcy, a sense of calm. But it won't do anything other than be a symbol, which I guess is normally what crowns do. Man, this is a weird day. Sorry, haven't been fully myself in a while. But I care about these people. I care about the situation. I'm happy to do it and to be what the people need me to be right now. But I know how important it is that that crown be restored. So there's a few things we need to do. And I'm going to ask this capable bunch of people I'm seeing in front of me help with these things. I see a lot of skills that could help with a lot of these things, but I'm gonna leave it up to you what you want to do to help. Um, Three things that need to happen as soon as they can. One, we need to figure out how to get this crown back in order. I don't know if you can figure out within the archives if there's some sort of record of how this crown works. I don't know how magic works. You know, I've been feeling the Emperor for years. I don't know. He hasn't said. And by the way, these are the mechanics of the crown and the enchantment, and I that's beyond me. But hopefully there's something that can be done. And the sooner the better, because I don't think this attack is over by any means. That's even from from what I remember, the last I felt from Moradin's presence, that did not look like a retreat. That was a full on, that was a reassembling, that was a reorganizing, that was a, I think that was just phase one. And I think what you, and is pointing at Ilrock and Moxie, I think whatever you two saw, whatever's going on there, has something to do with what's going on. So the other things, I guess, two and three are sort of hand in hand. We need to figure out what their plan is so we can prepare to meet them with whatever comes next. We need to
And
figure out
just to
what
be
they're doing out
clear,
there and what they're doing in here.
just to be clear, the plan isn't necessarily arson, right? Because I kind of picked that
Okay.
up somewhere along the way, but I don't know why.
Noted.
And looking at
Okay.
Ilrock like, arson? No?
Nah,
Okay, that's
nah.
probably a good thing. That's one
But
thing
we should be
ruled
prepared
out.
for almost everything because, whoever it was who stormed us earlier, they had intense powers. And as Jupiter said, I don't believe that that was just, one thing and now it's done. I think
And
there's more
Okay.
going on.
the
Yeah.
tabaxi was the same as it looks similar to the tabaxi from the Crown Top Crag where you ascended.
Really?
Yes, it
Well,
it
that can't be a
wasn't
coincidence.
it wasn't the true tabaxi, it was the one who was impersonating Hawk.
Wait,
Another
wait, wait, wait.
simulacra.
Ilrock, could these people that you saw be these strange ice people as well? Is there a way we could find out if people are actually not people or something?
I mean, if they're made of ice, then your idea of arson would probably flush them out.
True.
Uh,
There
Captain
are
Magma
books in here.
leans in.
Have some
It's like,
sense.
yeah,
What is wrong with you people? Will nobody
don't mess
think
with
of the
fire, kids.
library?
Everything in me there was going, oh my gosh, yes. While I was going, oh my god, even Moxie at this point would be like, maybe not. But I was like, oh.
Yeah, like that's a like clutch your pearls, like not the library kind of moment.
No, the scrolls.
Well, I mean, are
At this
they
point, sorry.
magical in nature? Would that help?
uh,
I don't know. I
I
don't know magic.
The
I
people or
believe
the library?
I believe the beings that we slaughtered were simulacrum.
They were called beings.
Simulacrum? Sorry, simulacrum. How do you say it? That word.
Simulacrum.
That one. Thank you. I believe they were those. But I don't know who was behind it because it all just suddenly stopped. So
It seemed like it was the Tabaxi, whoever they are, but maybe they were working with someone else, or there's something else happening here.
And a
mhm.
wizards are so arcane magic is so rare. It's divine magic that is, rules supreme here on Trell after uh the catastrophe thousands of years ago.
In my research, it seemed like that kind of magic can occur in anybody, or it used to anyway. It's not impossible that there are arcane magic users springing up all over the place, and they're just keeping it quiet.
Send out word to have anyone who has the ability to detect magic to use that ability when processing these people. Hopefully, we can catch out any ice people who are in our midst. Weird sentence to say. Um,
It's been a very weird
weird.
day.
Yeah.
As
At this point, Lieutenant Lightning speaks up. This little gnomish old man just says, yeah, if I may, whatever you decide, whatever is about to happen, you're going to need to go in a lot of directions at once and stay in communication with one another. Um, we have a scroll. It's sort of an emergency case, but I think it may be useful. I think we have a way to keep you in contact once you spread. Give me a moment and I will return. And he starts out of the room. Um,
So,
But
I'm Moxie. It's nice to meet you all.
Arthur, good to
I
meet
do
you.
awkward waves.
Amira
Amira.
Lazuli of the Order of the Forge.
Oh yeah, I can see that because you got them fancy armors. Yeah, very very shiny.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you. Still
I'm
shiny, yeah.
yeah, I'm really doing so well in this. This is going great. Okay, all right, and then Carlin and Ilrock. I know you
Yes,
two
I
because
am.
you're fighters.
Carl and Skullbane point me at something and I'll hit it. I guess that's how I'm going to help here.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I'm Ilrock Apatis. Anything I can do to help, I will gladly do it, although I'm not particularly great at finding magics. That's
No,
not
me
my
neither.
skills, but I'm good at tracking and hunting and some other stuff as well. So who knows?
I feel
Stealing
like that'll be
jobs.
useful.
I'm gonna hand the empty tea back to Arthur. I hear you're quite useful in a library. We, you want to
Some may
see,
say.
do you want to go to ours?
I would love to. I've never
And
been
you can
into the
see
depths.
some of the scrolls that would, anyway. I
Absolutely.
should maybe not the right time to bring up proof that I was right.
Well, you see, I Arthur like catches himself and is like, later. So many
And she
pages.
like she says it and it's like was right.
Jupiter's like looks at Carlin, who has his hand raised, and says, Carlin, yeah, something to add?
Just can I vote not to go to the library, please? Books are scary.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I,
you're
honestly, from what I'm seeing, and feel free to disagree with me if you feel strongly otherwise, I think two main groups might be good. We have the nerds, no offense, Amira, Arthur, go check out the library, see what you can find. You have Emperor's blessing, permission, read whatever you want, no restrictions. Do
You
do
mean
what you
I
gotta
get a
do. This is
special
gonna be like
library card? I love a special
uh
library card.
you know what? After this is all over, I'll get you one drafted up. Don't you even worry.
Oh,
For now, uh, Serge, go with them. Let them know it's fine. Um, the other three of you, if you guys can get out there, I'll authorize. I probably can't spare much, but maybe a wing or two of soldiers go out with you. Go out, see what you can find. Use that tremor sense. Find something to hit. Do what you can do. Find out what the hell is going on and report back. Any objections? Or does that sound cool? Does that sound good?
Uh, Jupiter, a moment, please.
Yep, sure. You want to like private?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone wait in the hallway.
Um, I I don't know what I did. I I'm I w- I'm sorry. I
Hey, it's cool, man. I know I know you didn't do anything on purpose. I know this is weird. Like, I know I'm not how I normally am around you. I know this is a lot to take in. Um, I think it'll be okay. Um, I wasn't a religious person. I didn't even follow Moradin. I'm just a fighter. I'm just a a buff lady who likes action. Like this is beyond me. But I've had Moradin in my head for a quarter of a century now.
I was there. I
And
was there when you won and he transformed you.
yeah, you're even littler then than you are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I may not have all the answers, but I that that God is powerful, man. Moradin knows everything. Like I know that that sounds like hard to believe. Like even while I was experiencing it, it is beyond my ability to comprehend all at once how smart that guy is, how aware of what's going on this is. Even as everything was falling apart around me, and like the me part of me is like starting to panic, he was calm. He had every assurance that things were going to work out. And I'm just a lady. I can't argue with him. I don't. All I can do is try to help. And you were just trying to help. And I don't think, I don't know. I think it's gonna be fine. I'm
I
sure
don't
that's not
know.
quite the comfort you were looking for. I don't know.
It's nice to
I'm just
hear.
a lady.
I don't know what I believe. Um, but I know that I never believed that Moradin could truly leave us, so I don't know if he's gone, but I know he's not in the crown anymore, and I don't know what that looks like next, but I'm sorry. I know it's changed you, and anyway, I'm gonna go look with Arthur's gonna f figure it out. I'm gonna help Arthur, but Arthur's gonna figure it out.
Yeah, he seems like a smart guy. The zapping people out of the air thing was cool. He's
Yeah,
got his head on his shoulders. And you know what? You got your head on your shoulders too. You are have always been one of my favorites. I'm not supposed to have favorites. I'm the emperor. But
I'm
hey,
just gonna salute
now I can be as
Emperor
biased as I want to
Jupiter.
be.
I'm just I can't take a compliment right now, so I'm just gonna salute Emperor Jupiter
Amira.
and just, you know, turn around to go and yep.
Hey, out of curiosity, I'm totally confident that everything's fine and that Moradin's infinite or whatever. Have you tried to cast a spell since the whole crown thing? Have you like does he still answer in your prayers or like I don't know.
Um,
Um, I'm totally confident and whatever and everything, and she just like puts the crown back on, like,
I'm
see?
gonna walk over to Jupiter and just reach out my hand and cast guidance.
Um, Excellent. You go. You place your hand on your holy symbol. You all hand shaking despite yourself, reaching out. You feel a surge of magical energy radiate into Jupiter. She feels it upon her. See, see, it's all gonna
Every
be okay.
okay. Yeah. Okay. And
Awesome.
yep, turn around and go.
As you turn around and leave, um, Jupiter's not the subtlest of people. You hear a very like clear, pronounced like sigh of relief as you're walking out. And join everyone out in the hallway. Lieutenant Lanning has run back up with his little legs, has like a few scrolls in hand that is he's like looking through as if like he just grabbed the stack and didn't and like just wanted to get back here as soon as possible. Pulls one out, reads it, just tosses it over his shoulder, pulls one out, keeps reading. Okay, here we go. Oh, dang, this is old. Oh, are we sure we need to use it? It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Um, okay, everyone, I I'm not making this up. This work only works if you hold hands. Everyone hold hands. Everyone hold
All
hands. This is a
right.
touch spell. All right. Now give me 10 minutes. And just holds a hand out.
Awkward.
He's standing there for
Places a hand
10
on
minutes, like.
somebody's shoulder, and starts casting through the spell Rary's telepathic bond, which by the end of the spell, all of you have the ability to telepathically communicate to each other over a distance that is large enough that I haven't looked it up, but you will not go farther than this distance apart from each other unless some bizarre, impossible thing that I have not accounted for
Unless a mirror
happens.
banishes one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You never know. I'm on a roll.
Um,
Classic D&D player mechanical question. Did
sure.
that brief council of war count as a short rest?
I'm gonna give it to you. You guys can
Great question.
benefit from a short rest just because
Shout out to
it's
Mike for
nicer.
asking the right
Yes.
questions.
Thank you. I actually I meant for it too. So thank you for reminding
What
me.
does a short rest do? Sorry.
You can there are some abilities that will recover there that will like have a certain number of charges that will recover upon a short rest. You can spend hit dice to recover from any wounds that you have incurred.
Also worth saying,
That
if you're
sort of
using
thing.
D&D Beyond for your character sheet, there's a button
Yeah.
right at the top that says short rest.
Oh
And if
yeah.
you use it, it will just do everything automatically for you.
Nice, thank you.
Awesome. Fortunately, you share the thoughts you wish to share in
Yay!
communicative form. It is an intentional telepathy. Your private thoughts remain private.
I was going to say, if you've got
Private.
like 5 other people's thoughts in your head all the time, it's just going to be awful. Other people, that's intense. It's just too much.
Incredibly distracting at the very least, if not
Yeah.
awkward as hell. Um, Depending on what those thoughts may or may not be.
Yeah.
But yes. Are we all rested up? Are we all ready to move
Yes.
out? I'm going to start with Team Outside.
All right.
Um, you
Let's go.
guys move off to the outer gates. You are given command over two wings of soldiers, so that's 10 10 10 level 3 clerics, 10 level 3 paladins will do what you say, are treating you guys sort of collectively as their commanding officer. Um, and you are sent off to try to figure out what is going on in the city, where the forces are, what is going on with some of the advantage of Moxie has had some feelings of where some of these tremors have come from below and exterior, as well as those of you who Carlin and Ilrak who witnessed the assault saw people retreat towards the outer layers, but also saw some people descending within the city. So there is some indication that down might be a direction to look, but it's a big city. There's a lot of people to maybe find uh kind of a big open-ended, I'm honestly not giving you guys a lot of direction to go off of. So sorry about that, but also not sorry because I trust you guys' ability to figure something out. What are you guys gonna do? How do you guys want to tackle this?
All right, so there's things shaking. There's weird people behaving strangely. And somewhere in all this, we've got to fix a crown. Am I missing anything?
Think the crown
No.
fixing is team nerd and team outside. I'm not altogether comfortable with the team names, to be honest. Like, why
I
why
I
we
don't take
outside and
offense.
then nerd? Surely outside and inside would have made more
honestly,
sense.
to be honest, I don't think it really matters right now.
Oh, okay. I was kind of fixating on that.
Well, these people that were moving around, like, can you still have you still seen any of them recently, Ilrock? Have they disappeared?
If
Good
we can find one, we
question.
could interrogate one.
Well,
Oh, that
exactly.
would be good. That would be very good. Yeah. So, have we seen anybody recently, dear DM?
Um, I will give you a perception check here as you're out in the hall. I don't think anyone stood out to you immediately as you were like leaving through the hallway, but I'll give you a
Ah,
perception check looking back in.
natural 20.
That's
Woo!
awesome. Um,
This is going to be helpful.
Ilrock sees everything.
The whole
Ilrox
of
gains
time
true
and
sight,
space
sees through.
space
Yeah.
continuum. Yeah, just the whole shebang. Yeah.
Um, Amazing. Okay. Here is what I will give you with a natural 20. You go back and look out into the hall as it's a little less crowded in here than it was. There's still some people out who have not either not been processed yet or are like comfortable in the grand hall and are just sort of like staying put where they are. Um, so there's a lot less busyness to distract you, and you scan through the crowd looking to see anyone either acting the way that you remember people acting with that suspicious behavior or someone you recognize from earlier. Um, and you see one of the people you clocked earlier is just now in this moment being led um, by someone like someone with a clipboard is sort of like walking them back into the area, and that instinct from earlier kicks in, and with a natural 20 you know you have to go follow them. You know you need to what whatever's about to happen, this is you can't this is not an opportunity you can let slide.
Hmm. Yep. That I'll point them to Chloe. Sorry, Moxie and Carlin. That's our person. We need them,
Are
All
whoever
we,
right,
they
well,
are.
are we following them or are we grabbing them?
Whatever you think is best.
well, maybe if we follow them for a bit and then we grab them if we think something's going to go wrong.
Yeah, I do like the idea of like
Okay.
sitting down and getting some information out of whoever this is. And Colin, you look pretty damn threatening. So maybe you be a good intimidator.
If, if only intimidation was a strength-based roll, not a charisma-based roll.
Oh, damn it.
You can
Damn
let
it.
There's an optional rule to let you use strength for intimidation that I love to use, so more than welcome to. Worth noting, the group of 20 soldiers that is prepared to leave the palace and go in a completely opposite direction is sort of like standing around confused as you guys are like grouping up to go further inside. One of them sort of was like, um, did I did I misunderstand the mission? Or I
Take
thought we were
take
going out.
5. We'll be back. You guys guard, and I will just look around and like something that's around. You guard that statue. Nobody's to get near it.
Sure, man.
What?
Bloody
Why?
incompetent. What's going on with this
We
bloody siege? And just they sort of mill about like looking like okay, I guess. All
Callan,
right.
Callan, you can't treat your soldiers like that.
Yeah, but we also can't follow someone sneakily with an
I
armed
know,
brigade.
I know, but you could just tell them that.
I gave them orders to do a job, to protect something. That's what they're paid to do.
I don't, okay, okay. I'll go over to the soldier and I'll be like, look, TLDR, we got to follow someone, so you guys hang tight, all right? I don't know why Callan's telling you to guard a statue. It's just a statue.
There's nothing special about the statue. He's an idiot. It's fine. We'll be back.
I'm right here.
I walk by the statue every day. It's I don't any all right.
In the
You do
meantime,
your thing.
if you feel any kind of tremors or anything like that, just like I don't know, let's see if you can find out where it's coming from.
Right. Got it. Yes, mom.
Yeah. And Moisey walks away feel like pleased with themselves and like, yeah, I've did a good job of command, having only ever been on the other side.
Amazing. They start organizing themselves and sort of taking some autonomous action in this moment.
I have literally
And
never met a soldier who didn't take every opportunity to mill around when they didn't have to do anything. But fine.
there is definitely some of that as well. There are some people who are like obstinately like looking at the statue, just like I'm supposed to guard this statue, and there's like, and they're guarding it by just like leaning against it and
Yeah,
maybe having a smoke, even though they're inside. Like there's a mixture. There's some people who are like sort of taking Moxie's orders to heart, and there's some people who are like, they told us to chill, so we're gonna chill. Uh, for sure. But the three of you guys go off. But this time the door has closed. The guy is inside. So maybe a little bit of a chase to try to figure out where this person has gone.
Let's go,
But
let's go.
following up on that natural 20 perception check, I will say as you guys make it to this doorway, once again, just sort of down at the end of the hall, you see them s- right as another door is closing as they're being led into one of these office intake rooms. And the door closes.
follow
Are
them
these
in.
intake rooms like small kind of like interview type rooms? So like if we opened the door,
Yeah.
we'd be noticed. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. It is much like the office you were in. You were in kind of a large one of these. They're various sized. You see some that are like as you're starting to walk through the hall, you see some that are like literally just enough for one person on one side of the desk, one person on another side. But yeah, it definitely the kind of thing where there is one door leading in and out of these rooms.
Okay.
Right.
Little
Like,
cubicles almost.
I kind of like put a finger to my lips and I'm like, let's listen at the door. And I like put my like ear very slowly like to the door to see if I can hear anything from the other side.
Sure. Give me a
Yeah.
perception check.
Yeah, which is I always point this out. I'm like, this is because sound travels faster through a solid than a liquid and a gas. Ah! I just take any opportunity I can to be like, yes, physics fact. You're welcome. Anyway, perception check, wasn't it? Let's go. What is that? Ooh, 20. Not that. Pretty good.
Dirty 20, yeah. You put your ear up against the wall, maybe cupping to amplify the sound,
Mm.
maybe going flat. Whatever the case may be, you get a pretty good listen in at that door, and you're expecting to hear maybe some conversation happening, maybe something. You instead hear like a thump sound
Oh,
and quiet from
I look
the
at
other side of the
Carlin
door.
and I go, I think it's time to grab.
Oh, I will open the door.
Excellent. You open the door, and on the other side of the door, there is this totally normal looking figure standing over the collapsed unconscious body of whoever was going to be handling this this interrogation, who does seems like they were starting to draw a weapon. They were starting to this was maybe this interview wasn't going so well. And they look up from like trying to like take in this person's like looking starting to look through this person's stuff, and yeah, I'm gonna need you guys to roll initiative.
Oh no, has Gary collapsed again?
Uh,
Okay. We got a
oh
10.
wow.
We got a 6.
That
And
sucks.
a 14.
14. Ew.
Let
Yeah.
me
I've had
Not
really
roll
the
good rolls on
greatest.
the
as well.
no, I've had great rolls on other stuff, but this roll sucks.
That's
Well,
okay. You
at least
led
Colin's
us here in the
first.
first place. Yeah, this would not even be possible without your rolls. So going last in initiative is not necessarily the worst. You have the most information to act off of when it gets to be your turn. Um, and Carlin the Rageful just beating out this person's ability to react. What's going on, buddy?
I don't think Carlin is going to rage yet because this situation seems utterly manageable. It's one man in a small room. Um, so yeah, Carlin's just gonna kind of step forward and gonna be like, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the fun way. Choice is yours. He's going to hold his action to grapple the dude until he gauges whether they're going to put up a fight or not.
Amazing. What and you said specifically the action is to grapple that you're
Yeah,
holding.
yeah.
Alrighty. This person has a shock like expression of their face on their face. They're like, oh shit, this is. I thought I was making a clean getaway. As soon as you give them this challenge, they sort of grin and they say, why do things the easy way? And starts you can see them starting to make gestures in their hand similar to you've seen people do earlier today. You even with Carlin's intelligence level know some sort of magic is about to happen. That doesn't look whatever's going on doesn't look like a surrender. So I'm gonna let
That's
you
fine.
trigger your held action to grapple this individual. Give me an athletics check.
Excellent. Not raging, so it's flat one. 23.
You just beat out this person's 9 acrobatics check. Just barely. And by just barely, I mean so significantly so that even though grapple doesn't say you pin someone's arms enough that they can't do somatic components of the spell, you beat them by 14. So I'm gonna give it to you that this guy is like just about to like you see something that has been you have seen earlier today, maybe from a distance. I don't remember quite how close to a dimension door you've been today. But
I,
you
I,
see
I was
like
on
this
top of
the
a guy when he did Dimension Door, yeah.
yes,
So
Exactly. Yeah. That's true. So you see this like the lines of the shape of a doorway start to trace itself out in the air and just no, not again. And this guy is just wriggling in your arms, kicking ineffectually.
Yeah,
Shit.
probably
Fuck.
probably kind of got him like half Nelson, one arm behind the back, one arm kind of around his neck. Um, and I'll just be with the arm behind the back and be like, I can break these fingers if you want.
Do what you want. One of us will get where we're going. Ah. And like bites at you. I'm gonna roll a really ineffectual attack roll. Uh, they they do in fact get their teeth into your skin, but they're not very strong and your skin is very tough and they're just sort of like it's kind of funny almost how
Foxy,
not good at
wanna
biting you this guy is.
wanna wail on this guy a bit before he tells us everything he knows.
Oh, I was gonna go through his pockets, but I can do that first if you like.
It's your turn, Moxley. What you up to?
I think just in case they do manage to get a dimension door off, I would like to try and go through their pockets while they're wriggling and just try and see if I can get anything that I can grab that's on their person, basically.
Sure. Give me an investigation check, please.
Okay. I'm not good at those. Let's find out. Okay, 14. Okay.
14. Not bad, not bad at all. You're not sure what exactly you're looking for. You don't know how magic works. You don't
Mm.
know what this guy might need to cast magic or be able to do what he needs to do. You never seen a dimension door before today. But what you do know is that the more things you take out of his pockets, the more likely it is that you get what you need. So rather than trying to go for like a like specifically looking for a component pouch or an arcane focus. Your mindset is more like, where do people hide stuff on their body?
Yeah.
And just like start grabbing at things like tearing off a necklace, like emptying out like bags and like coin purses and all
I'm
sorts
just
of
like
definitely
throwing them at,
unrelated things.
yeah.
But a big enough pile is formed.
I'm just like throwing them at Ilrock's feet in a sense of like, you're the smart one. Like, um, I think I can still, yes, I can still punch with a bonus action, so we'll do that too.
Excellent.
Let's go. That's another 20.
That's awesome. Yeah. Please roll damage.
There's the damage. It's eight bludgeoning damage, but yeah, I'm kind of rifling through their pockets and I'm just like,
Hey,
honestly,
stop it.
just stop wriggling. And I stand up in my full height and just like whack him in the face. And I'm like, stop. All right.
Cut it out. Oh.
Honestly,
Ah.
Carlin might be having
Oh.
fun, but honest, this is quite tricky for me.
Ow. Like, like all sort of bravado and intensity and whatnot of this guy is gone. Hey, spits out blood onto the floor, which at least lets you know this is a real guy. Uh, ah,
Are you gonna stop struggling now?
that hurt.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt more if you don't stop struggling.
It's like just pouts and like hangs limp in Carlin's arms.
Oh, right, good. We're getting somewhere. I've gone Cockney again. Here we go.
Not getting paid enough for this.
All right. Let's start there. Who's paying you?
This guy, he calls himself the Claw. He's a jackass and a half. He's, he seems to think that he just he's power hungry. He's my boss kind of, I guess we do crimes.
So if he's power hungry, and you're working for him, then doesn't that mean there's no power left for you because he wants it all?
I don't care about power. I'm just trying to eat. This is a
All right,
job.
that's
I don't
fair.
know. Uh,
Oh, fellow
I'm
Merc,
just got
nice to meet you.
hi. Hey,
You're a
yeah.
fellow Merc. Okay, we know jobs are few and far between. It's all good, but we do need some like information. Apart from who the claw is, what is the whole idea? Uh, Give
Uh,
us a skinny. I mean,
yeah. He's been working on this for a while. He's sort of like this criminal underground like organizational head. He's this big tabaxi guy. He's got a bunch of pet panthers and he's really scary and he does a lot of scary mind stuff and I don't like him and he's scary. But I don't really interact with him much directly. There's this other guy, my he is really formal and old fashioned, so he wants me to he calls us his apprentices and insists on us calling him master. He's been teaching me magic. He's been teaching a few of us magic who are like smart enough to like follow what he's saying. So that's been nice. That's been cool. I've been trying to better myself, maybe I can have better employment
Okay,
elsewhere. But
I'm very glad that you are
yeah,
upskilling or whatever it is that they call it.
sure,
We
yeah.
are on a bit of a time pressure.
Yeah, you asked me a specific question and I'm
I
just sort of
know.
talking. I'm so sorry. I
It's
Yeah.
just
okay.
this is
I would do the same thing in your position. So what we need to know is,
my face really hurts.
yeah, sorry about that. We we need to know what the claw is trying to do and how
Yeah,
they're trying to do it.
yeah. Okay, he wants the crown. He's power hungry. He says, if anyone can have ultimate power and godly whatever, that he is should be the one in charge of everything.
Okay.
He's working. There's people infiltrating. I mean, hi, me. I got caught. Hopefully, some of my friends are further along than me. They're trying to break down the barrier that prevents people from teleporting within the palace itself because they figured once things get bad, once people retreat, the emperor will go to their throne room, and once they think they're safe, we're gonna teleport in, beat them up. Is all the empress's idea. The Drow empress, the what's her face? She's helping us because she
Okay.
doesn't like.
So we've
She's
got
yeah, it's a whole thing.
Tabaxi the Claw, weird psychic
Yeah.
wizard person. We've got the Drow
Hmm.
Empress helping them.
Yeah.
Anyone else
Yeah. Yeah.
of important in part we should know about?
My master.
Oh yeah, and your master.
Yeah, master.
He's
Okay.
a human guy. He's got like a evil looking goatee. He
Of course he
flies.
has.
Classic.
He's
Mm.
he's a jerk. He's just sort of like honestly, as powerful as he is, he's straight up just in the claw's pocket. I sense that they've kind of got some history that I don't really understand, but like he
All
does
right.
whatever the claw says, even though like it looks like they hate each other. I don't really get it.
Carlin's going to
mm.
glance at the clipboard that the admin dude was carrying. What's the last name on this clipboard, which I'm presuming is going to be this dude.
Um, they have like a sort of a form that they're filling out, that is just like a bunch of checklists and like whatever. Under name, they've written refuses to say question mark and they've written out like and then like detect magic like has like written a check mark and written out illusion and is just like starting to look like it like and then like there's like a big like line like squiggle line dragging off the page
So
and
Callum will kind of ramp up that kind of half Nelson a little bit and go, okay, refuses to say if that even is your real name.
What? Oh, no. I'm Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Okay.
Hi,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Hey, Jeffrey.
I I need
Um,
my lungs to breathe.
I will loosen it a little. How many of you are doing this whole infiltration shit?
Uh, I think there's like a dozen of us, just in case something went wrong and something
Oh,
like this
something's gone
happened.
wrong. Something's gone very wrong, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Hi, yeah. Please don't. Are you gonna kill me? I'm just a guy.
No, we're not here to kill you.
I think you've been very
Uh,
helpful.
You've been very, very helpful, and we appreciate your time.
Thanks. Yeah,
Sounds
I'm.
like it's about 50-50 at the moment then.
Do you want more help?
I think maybe
Because
we
I
should take
love
you.
not dying.
Yeah, I think maybe we should take you back where you can be kept an eye on. And if you think of anything that we should know about, maybe let us know. In the
May-
meantime,
Sure.
Maybe some
Yeah.
descriptions of your friends, just so we know who to look out for.
Yeah, sure. And just starts like describing a bunch of people who are just various people. Like
I'll
I
start.
don't have like like
It's fine.
specifically planned out necessarily, but just like starts describing a bunch of people. Like, oh yeah, and my friend Jennifer, she's a Aarakocra and she's got like brown wings and sort of like white facial feathers and like her beak is like really scary but also kind of pretty. Like I don't know, but I've never told her her beak is pretty and maybe I should. Anyways, the and then and it
I'll
just
grab
is
the clipboard and
nervous
like
like
turn the paper over and just hurriedly scribble out as much of the descriptions as I can.
awesome.
Give that to,
Yep.
I don't know, one of the clerks here or something.
You guys keep grilling Jeffrey for every bit of information on this plan he's got. I
Yep.
want to check in with team inside, team nerd,
Team Nerd.
team A dot y'all. You guys have by this
You dot
point
your.
been led deep within the facility into
Oh my God, the
um
Tabaxi's right there.
into
Please, please.
um no, is that Jennifer right there with her beak looks is damn sorry. You make it to this massive vaulting library. Like, is vaulting a good description? The ceilings are tall, is big, it's ornate, it's honestly something you would love more time to appreciate and have appreciated more in the past. But you guys are here with a mission, with something to try to find. Similarly to before, I'm going to ask y'all what your strategy is. A little bit different to ask about a research strategy, but still important. There's a lot of books in here. You guys only have so much time. Um, what is sort of what's the plan? What are we looking for? How are we looking for it? What's the vibe?
Amira, do you know when the crown was invested? When it was first used?
Um, my educated guess is like 1,000 years ago, but would I know more specifically, Emily?
Give me a history check.
Okay.
17 is pretty good. Considering your bonus is crazy. I'll just give it to you. Within the within the conflict, the crown itself was created before the conflict itself rose to the point of okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Back before this age, this world was a part of a multi-dimensional, multi-planetary conflict known as the Dawn War. A big deal. Look it up in your D&D history books, folks. The whole thing. Um, the crown is a relic from that time period. Um, it was not fully used the same way that it is now at the time, but at some point, once you are aware, Amira, that the reason the Dawn War came to an end on Trell, the reason that the calamity, the convergent, the big squelch, as some people call it, the reshaping of the world that ended the last era quite violently and re-entered the world into the way that it is now. Some sort of extra dimensional, ancient, otherworldly thing was found deep within Trell that the gods rallied and fought against and decided, at least here, at least now, we have bigger problems than our squabbling. We need to figure out what's going on. And it was during that period of time when this period of time, which has, unfortunately, as you're thinking about this, has probably the least record of any period of time in history because it was, right after this period, a lot of things were a lot of records were lost, and during the period itself, not a lot of people were had the time to be writing books about what was going on. So what you're going to be looking for is gonna be some sort of maybe scattered journal records, something that was, but you able to narrow it down to that period of time when the gods came together, where Moradin came down to inhabit the crown more personally so that the gods could have a physical presence here in order to combat this other entity, this frankly eldritch being that has since been quelled, but not enough that Moradin felt that he could leave this plane fully. And that is why the crown is the way that it is.
I'm sorry, did you
Um,
just say that Morden didn't previously leave the crown because he was concerned about an eldritch being?
I
Which is
did say
fine.
that. I did say
Everything's
that,
fine.
yeah.
I just want to be clear that that's okay.
God had to stay
Yeah,
in the
Okay.
crown because he's a bit scared. It's fine.
All right.
it's probably fine
It's
that this is
fine.
what's happening.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. So I will
Ah,
impart that. So we want to probably be getting down to like the deepest, like ancient records, to get any kind of information we can about the true nature of the squelch, about the true nature of the crown, correct?
yeah. Let's try and look for
Worth noting,
things.
Arthur, you're a scholar. You've seen a lot of historical sites. You know a lot about the nature of the world and of the gods. A lot of that was known to you. This eldritch entity that was existed within Trell, that the gods, this is news to you, and you're not sure if you have time to process it right now, but I wanted to make sure you were aware that you definitely did not know that before.
Arthur is like taking major mental notes, but like this is not the time to be going on a side quest about eldritch beings that may or may not exist in the core of the world. It's fine. But like that's a problem for tomorrow. It's all good. Um, okay.
I'm
Texts
sure
from
it will
that period.
definitely be a problem for tomorrow. Definitely. 100%.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. Um, Texts from that time. Let's look for things that aren't just in Dwarvish, because just
Okay.
because this is a Dwarvish artifact now doesn't mean that it was then. Um, but if Muradin chose to inhabit the crown, that doesn't sound like it was like a summoning or a binding. I mean, maybe that was involved. It sounds more like, I don't know, like we just need a prayer, really. I mean, you have faith. This is your god. What are his symbols? What does he favor? And tell me about this. I'm sorry, you said, Emily, the other place in the palace that is like a seat of power for Muradin?
Yes. It is known as the Heartforge.
Oh,
It
great.
is
Apt.
uh hmm,
Hmm.
stares ominously at the title. Yeah, the sort of at the very center of Irvan, below the palace, above, like deep within the rock itself, there is a fire ever burning that is the light within that. It's like almost more so than the crown is like the divine presence and anchor that sort of keeps Irvan flowing, keeps all of these ancient uh, defenses, all of these ancient parts of the city. Like this thing was created a long time ago, back when arcane magic was a lot more common. It is sort of just like, I don't know. uh, It's hard for me to put this into like D&D terms, but like it's sort of like the motherboard almost of this big like
Hmm.
city. It's like sort of like what keeps everything
Yeah, the engine.
going. And it's sort of like, while the crown is a vessel for the consciousness of Moradin to directly physically exist on this plane. Um, there's a long history of people looking into the Heart Forge and seeing visions or feeling his voice while prayer in the temple. It's why there's a temple built up around it. It also fuels, in addition to like anything magical within the city, it also like the forges, the like actual like foundries that people do all of the metalworking in that are like below the city. A lot of that heat is provided from the magma underneath the city, but a lot of the actual light of the forges, like there is that constant flame that is always lit that keeps it sort of acts as a pilot light to keep all of those things going when they need to go. So kind
Okay.
of your instincts say might be important
Yeah.
in it's like the strongest tie to Morden that remains here now that the crown is going through what it's going through.
Whatever we do, we should do it there. Speaking of, I will telepathically message the team outside, and be like, if you catch anyone, ask them about the Heartforge. Are they going there? Do they have plans? Maybe these people want to put the fire out. Um,
Oh yeah, we caught someone, and I should probably tell you that they're trying to take the thing that stops you teleporting down. So we should keep an eye on Jupiter because they want the crown. Also, there's
okay.
a wizard called the Claw and a Drow Empress that are trying to do it.
And a bloke with a goatee.
The Drow
Yeah, the goatee
Empress?
as well. I forgot. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
says. The Drampus, yeah. And
The
some
Drow
dude with a
Empress is Jupiter's wife. They're politically married.
Wait,
There's a
what?
treaty
Well,
from
what?
thousands of years ago. The Drow Empress is Jupiter's political wife.
well, she apparently wants a divorce.
Or
It
want
certainly seems
something.
that
Oh
way.
boy.
Want
Do I
something
have
at
a
least.
way, like, is this just between the five of us, or were we connected to Surge or Jupiter or anything like that?
Um, I'll say that's up to you. You guys definitely could have looped in more people in with this if in that moment. I'll leave it to you guys if you wanted to have. You definitely could have.
I feel like Jupiter at least would make sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense since she sent us on the mission.
Hmm.
She's gonna
And
want the updates quick and when they come in.
because she knows Order of the Forge doesn't typically pack sending because sending is a revivify that you can't cast.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Valid. So as you guys have this conversation, and Jupiter in your heads goes, well, shit,
Yeah,
not
that's what I
great.
thought.
All right,
We will
good
study
to
harder.
know. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Heartforge, got it. Avoid my ex-wife. My wife. My wife. That's so weird.
My wife.
My
I
wife.
never got
Did you
married
say
to her.
what? Did you say
My
ex-wife?
wife. I it's weird because she's more married to Moradin, not me. Like, I don't know how it works. This is a weird day for me. You guys are doing great. And sort of like not hangs up, but like goes back to focusing on not this conversation.
Um,
But yeah,
okay.
we'll ask about the Heartforge next.
Todd.
Amira, what do you think? Anywhere else we should look?
Um, that's those are my best guesses for us to start researching in. I assume that Jupiter will be sending like legions or whatever to the Heartforge now. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think just doing research on the maybe the relationship between the Heartforge and the Crown too, but those aspects of things and anything else we can find.
One thing that Arthur would think about is, would it be possible to reforge the crown? Like, would that renew the relationship? I don't know, but
That's a
it's a thought.
that any way that we can find to fix this because if we're being attacked specifically, we need that relationship more than ever. Um,
Okay, we've
though
got this.
it, it's just what you said about it. I I'm just so confused on how it could be banished in the first place.
I know we have some disagreements on this point. I don't think the whole of Muradin was in that crown. I don't think that's possible. I think if the banishment worked, then he's somewhere else, most of him. I think it's more like he can see through it or speak through it.
Mm.
Like it's a vessel.
Well, let's find out. We can do it. We can do it together. Sometimes, as much as we've disagreed, sometimes looking at things with two perspectives and two sets of eyes helps come to the most logical conclusion. So let's figure
And
it
some
out
of us
together.
speak languages that aren't Dwarvish.
Yes. Well, I also speak languages that are not Dwarvish.
Arthur will just start like rattling off accomplishments and
And
languages at this point.
and Amira's like, I also speak. Just like, well, do you speak Celestial?
Sergeant Surge leans in and says, "Are you guys gonna look at the books
Oh,
or?"
Yeah,
yes,
we're
yes.
yep on it. Yep.
Okay.
So I guess we're gonna go like deep into the library as
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. To the
I feel
old
like
records, the usually preserved and places that Arthur you've not been allowed in before.
I'm having the time of my life. Um, like when we are deep into the books, like in a place that feels familiar for both of us, probably, like in research mode, maybe a bit detached from emotion, hopefully. Um, Arthur will quietly say to Amira, your friend, the one who wasn't really here, we could try and find him if you want. I can find specific objects. If there was something that he wore all the time or carried, I could try it. I mean, I wouldn't find him if he was outside of the city, but if you want to look, I can do it.
I do. I do want to look. But we're in danger. and Jupiter is in danger, and the city's in danger. So, can we look together tomorrow?
Oh,
Okay,
would
thank
would
yeah.
Arthur know how long you've got to bring someone back from death? If you're a cleric.
Um,
I, as a player, cannot recall. I mean, there's different levels,
yeah,
right?
I
There's
mean,
some that can do it for like ever, more or less.
Um,
yeah, I would say as a high level caster himself, Arthur would have an understanding that there's probably that sliding scale probably exists, and you're not
Okay.
probably not sure where the line is as far as Amira's abilities or as far as um other people's abilities. I think you have enough of an understanding like that we're past the first barrier point for sure. That's fairly quick.
and
And then as far as what's next, I'm gonna leave
and
it a little unsure.
and I'll share as well. We were Today was about watching and protecting. It wasn't about bringing back. I
I
I could
know
bring
it's
someone back if it was quickly, but today I cannot bring back someone who has been gone that long. And
I
I think
know.
it's already been a few days at least.
I just mean it's not impossible.
It's not. It's in the Order of the Forge, and she gestures to like her bracers have the Revivify diamonds and she has a raised dead diamond that's like standard issue amongst her level in the Order of the Forge. So, in the order we always know someone's gonna come if we fall. So Hawk would know that I would come.
Okay, welcome.
Let's take this
And
moment, take a
yeah,
beat, and
thank you.
then I need. I'm sorry.
No, that's thank you. That's it.
Um, yeah. Um, After taking this moment, I do want the both of you to make some sort of role to represent the research being done. This can be whatever intelligence-based skill, so history, arcana, religion, maybe even just straight investigation, whatever you feel like makes sense for your character from what mindset, what focus they're working from, and I'll give you advantage because I think there's enough people like assisting in like grabbing books. There's enough of a priority being put on this that you guys are going to have the help that you would need to get advantage in this moment because there's not time to let you guys sit back and just do it yourselves.
I'm gonna do religion.
I'm gonna take history. I'm also struggling with the advantage button, so I'm just gonna roll twice.
I have a plus 16 and I still rolled a 21.
Wow.
Rolled a 15. You are really good at religion. Damn.
Um, Arthur, you, I'm gonna say there's two reasons why you don't find exactly an answer. One of those reasons, and it's the easier to put aside, is there's a bit of you that, despite yourself, despite how much you know there is an urgency of going on, there's just like you're
There's
in
so many
somewhere in the
side
library you
quests.
haven't gotten to be before that like you'll get distracted by a title occasionally or be like, "Oh, I would love to read that person's journal at some point. Oh my God, a treatise on the differences of opinion between Morden and Umberly. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is exactly I've written a thesis about this. Like beautiful stuff that you're like you have to rent yourself away from. And so there's like an active willpower constantly being exerted to stay on focus. And I think the thing that hyper focuses you and that you're really trying to lock in on is this idea of reforging or in re-enhancing the crown's physical, like the vessel of the crown as a like method of uh holding that divine power. So you're looking at enchantment techniques and at trying to find details about how specifically the crown was originally made and about how all of these like technical details, like what materials would be helpful in this situation, like what will carry enchantment well. And you get lost down so many rabbit holes of like trying to put this puzzle piece together, and you're starting to realize like this information's probably in here, but arcane study itself has been repressed for so long that the like like someone who knows how to enchant would probably be able to put this together in this time period. And just it like you're getting just frustrated just like from an academic sense, like this is why we don't discontinue study into practices, because now there's no infrastructure for me to do this type of research. Like there is no
There's no expertise,
I
damn
have
it.
to put these pieces together instead of it being organized and presented in a way that is helpful right now. And so I think you do find some things that would help in like you think like maybe that theory could be sound, maybe that is a route that could be taken, but you're not sure that you have the time to reinvent the field of enchantment on your own in this moment. But you're pretty sure you could reinvent the field of enchantment
Totally
given
good.
enough time
Like a
if
couple
you
of
had the
days.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. You need a Tony Stark overnight, and we just don't have
Yeah. Give me a
quite that much
montage, I'll be
time.
fine.
Um, Mira, you are. I mean, you even with a 21, you rolled a natural 5 to get the 21, which is crazy. Like you're capable of researching to such a
Knowledge
high degree.
clerics.
You know these books, you know these halls, and you're in this emotional place where you're just like you're trying your best to find like focus on what's going on. You're trying your best to think intellectually and use the conversation that you just had. You're like, okay, there's all these avenues I can go down. Okay, let me look into what's going on with the Heartforge exactly. Let me look into this. Oh, it looks like Arthur's kind of on top of the metallurgical aspect of it. Okay, let me get into this period of history. But like it, you keep going back to like, unfortunately this is a still enough moment that you keep going back to. You're so upset that you don't have Raised Dead prepared today. You're so worried that this crown got just that you're so worried that like what if I don't find the answers here, what if I don't think that your head isn't fully in the game. You're kind of going on instinct, kind of just sort of like running your hands almost like running your hands along um spines of books without almost even processing the titles you're seeing, without even really you're not even really sure what's guiding you at this point. But your hand stops on a book that speaks to the Heartforge itself. Um, and it's like a storybook. It's like like honestly, like you're surprised to see it down here. It's this like children's storybook, maybe not necessarily for children, but like simple enough that it could be digestible by a child, and it just speaks to a very just like it's like a it tells this story of when in times of trouble, when there you are lost, when things are uncertain, when there is nothing but darkness around you, the light of Moradin is not an external thing. It is not a thing that Moradin creates from outside. It is a light within that is within all people, within all beings. We all have this light inside of our souls. We all have this heat of fire of life within us. And that's the fire that lets us forge a path in our lives. That's the fire that burns bright within the center of the city. That's how the city was forged long, 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 long ago when Irvan picked up a hammer and started building himself a set of armor to defend his home here once many, many millennia ago, way back before the last age when this city was first founded. It was that light within himself that brought him the courage to forge on and forge this place and create this city. And you're not sure, you haven't found, okay, this is mechanically how, this is exactly a ritual that I can do to reinvigorate this thing. You haven't found, okay, this is how this enchantment works. But you're left with this sense of, if I don't give up, and if we bring the crown to the Heartforge, and we try to use that spark within ourselves, if I really truly just try to bring Moradin back together, maybe there's a chance. Maybe something within the history of the city, within, you can't imagine that Moradin would abandon you forever. You just, that light within you all, there has to be something there. Maybe you just need to all come together. Maybe you just need to pray hard enough, but you feel certain that if you bring the crown to the forge, something will be kindled. Something will be possible. You just
Okay.
have to try and bring that hammer down onto that anvil and try to create that spark. And
Um,
the two of you are left without an answer, without a
on
specific answer.
on that note, knowing the what I'm feeling about and reading this children's story and feeling that hope, I would like to use my last level 5 spell and cast Legend Lore on the Heartforge.
That is absolutely amazing. I love that.
Miranda and I were just messaging about it
We
because I was
must
like, I don't know. And I was like, you think now is the time? And she was like, do it, do it. And I'm like,
do
okay.
it.
That is beautiful. Um, so what I will say is that in order to properly honor the legend lore that will be to come, I want to take the time. I want to end the episode here. As you're casting that spell, I want to come at you with the most clear and concise and exact detailed legend lore about the Heartforge that I can, because that's way too awesome for me to just try to fit into the next 5 minutes. We're already actually over time. So I don't want to rush that. I want to honor that's really, 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 really cool. So we're going to leave that until next week, if that's okay with you, Leah.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry for continuing to
Um,
cast spells at the end of the episode and making you think about stuff.
hey man,
What's that
what's the
cliffhanger?
point of being a spellcaster if you're not gonna do that, right?
It's what you're
That's what
here
those
for.
that's what those high level slots are for, is
Yeah.
Yeah.
to reshape reality.
Yeah. You have the magics, use them.
Yeah. True, true,
Um,
true.
but
Ah.
with the research that you guys have done with the outside group who is still inside, interrogating this person, you've said you brought up the Heart Forge itself, and the guy goes, "Oh yeah. That's where we were when we were trying to take the enchantment apart. That's where we were going. That's a
That's kind of
exactly.
key
That's totally."
information.
Hey, you know what? I gotta keep myself honest. I don't think I have another level 5 left because I cast Gaius and Banishment last time.
Banishment is a fourth level spell, but I'm not sure if you. Okay.
You're right. That is what I did because I was like, did I not mark it? Oh no. No, that's what. Thank you. Okay. Rewind. Sorry.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay.
I was like, I don't want
Um,
bigger nerds than me on the internet to yell at me, but no, I didn't do it wrong.
yeah, as we end the episode, a lot of things sort of still up in the air, a lot of questions that remain, but what is becoming increasingly clear is that as things come to a head, as this final assault, whatever is about to happen on both sides of this conflict, the attention is going to be brought to within the temple, within the city, in the very heart of Yvonne itself, in the Heart Forge. Who could have known that this siege would have anything to do with the Heart Forge?
Mm.
And next week, next in our final episode of the Heart Forge siege, we will see what is to come. Thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful story. If my players would like to take the chance to remind us who they are, remind us where they can be found if they wish to be found on the internet, and yeah, let us know what you've got going on.
Yeah, hi, I've been Chloe or Chloe. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Chloe with the Flow. Right now, you can find me in a bunch of different places, but mostly you can find me on Deck of Many Aces, which is the only actual play podcast made with actual asexuals and aromantics. We are coming to the end of our long-running D&D campaign. We'll be starting a new campaign next year that will be a different system, but we haven't decided what yet. But in the meantime, we do have our Slug Blaster one shot that is coming out on Boxing Day. So that will probably have been out by now. So maybe the whole thing is out for you to listen to right now. So go and listen to it. It's fun. You can also find me on RWD, or also known as Our Rendezvous with Destiny, where we play Scum and Villainy. And I play maybe the complete opposite character to Moxie, who is a very secretive smuggler. And I also voice act in a couple of places. You can find me on Cadacius, which has some numbers replaced in some of those letters. And once again, I can't remember which ones they are. Where I play Quinn and also Cynthia, who is a sort of robot version of Quinn, essentially. And you can also find me on Legend of the Bones, where I voice the character of Edith. I think it's that. I pronounced it wrong. I voiced the character of Edith. I should be able to pronounce my own character's name, but I never have to say it, so it's fine. Yeah, that's, I think, all of the things that are going on right now. Yeah, I compose as well. I sing, act, whatever. I want to do stuff. Let me do stuff. Come say hi.
I second. Let Chloe do stuff. She's great. Yeah, I have been Carlin. I will hopefully remain Mike for quite some longer period of time. You can find me on Blue Sky at Run Like Craig, on Instagram at Run Like Craig 1979 because I'm old. And yeah, usually you can find me over on Pantsler's Tables playing D&D alternate Fridays, other games on the other Fridays randomly because they seem to like me there and cast me in lots of things. And you should too, because, I'm also a whore for jobs.
So, I'm Ray, and I played Ilrock today. And I'm not around much online, but if you want to find me online, you could find me on Blue Sky on YA username or on Tumblr with the Manta. Um, and yeah, this is like my first big kind of doing something online stream thing. So who knows what might happen next time around. Um, so yeah, thanks.
I'm Leah, and I have been Amira, and I am unfindable on the internet. But I am starting to apply for more things because I'm having so much fun doing this actual play. So if you need to find me for that reason, send a message to Emily, and she'll get in touch with me because she knows where to find me. And by the
What
time this airs, I may have a Discord account and we'll be talking in the chat. So, look in the chat, and if I've been saying a bunch of stuff, just send me a message.
what a mood. I am findable on the internet. I am Miranda and I have been Arthur. You can find me on Blue Sky at mdebenham1 or on Instagram at Miranda Debenham. Because I use my government name on everything, apparently. You can also catch me over on Sword and Key, where I am playing in Bounty at the Festival of Frost, a cute little two-shot that is a root tabletop game. So we are little animals like in Redwall, very cute. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. I want to give a quick shout out to producer Ben, who has been our man at the desk of our superhero team. Has been this whole show is always in all of our transmission stuff there behind the scenes helping us out, keeping us looking cool and like there's no technical difficulties ever whatsoever. Love you, Ben. You make this all possible, so thank you. Um, I've been Emily. I've been your humble dungeon master today. I'm all over the transmissions. Not in everything, obviously. Like they won't let me be in everything. I keep asking to be in more things, and they usually actually let me, which is pretty cool. I'm in our flagship show, Blood and Lyrium, where I'm a dwarven mama who's just so gay, but really cares about her friends and her daughter and is trying to manage this whole blight situation as well as she can. Also the GM, the referee, as it's called in Cyberpunk, of the Project Solar, my Cyberpunk game. That's been really fun. We've got 1 out of 3 seasons down. Love it. I'm very excited for what's already happening in that story, where it's going. Um, Very, very cool. Check it out. And I've got some older stuff. I was in an Aliens game back in the day. That was a lot of fun. Had a lot of our transmission folks in there. I got to play an android, which is always my favorite. To be a robot, it's just so much fun. I just love them. Yeah. That's me, Emily Bar 20 on the internet. Thank you so much again for joining us. We will be back one final time next week to just wrap up this epic story. Thank you so much. Love you all. Like, comment, and subscribe and follow and subscribe and follow.
Bye.
Bye.